All right, we're showing live, so I'm going to double check. And this time I'm going to be brief with my opening remarks. I tend to hog up some of the time, and that's not very beneficial. All right, we're back. Good morning to everyone. I'm Juliette Abdel, President and CEO of the Westminster Chamber of Commerce. Today I have with me our counterpart, Alberto Garcia, who's our timekeeper, former Mayor Pro Tem for the City of Westminster Legacy Award winner, pro supporter of community, of business, and all things in Westminster, and of course, our county and our state. Thank you, Alberto, for spending the morning with us. I see Melissa Snyder and Brian Head. Good morning to you guys. Thank you guys for hopping on this broadcast. Similar to the last candidates that we had on here, we will follow a very structured approach. They have 1 minute to share why we should select them for the office that they're seeking. Afterward, they will be answering rapid fire questions that were submitted to us in advance, and then take up any questions from the public should we have some time. They will then provide us with a closing remark, again, within the time limit of 10 minutes that we allot per candidate. So during the broadcast, if you think of anything, whether it's a comment, question, or compliment that you want us to know of, please type it into the comment section of this broadcast. Of course, at the very same time that this is airing on Facebook, we are also airing it on our YouTube channel, Westminster Chamber of Commerce, for those folks that are not on here on Facebook. I see Jerry and Dave Carpenter. Thank you guys for hopping on here. So let's get us started and kicked off. Tracy, can you go ahead and share with us a few words about yourself and the position that you're seeking?
Sure. Thank you, Westminster Chamber, for doing this. Hello, Rich Seymour, Brian Head, David Carpenter, and everyone else who has joined us. Good to see you this morning. I'm Tracy Kraft-Tharp, and I'm running for County Commissioner in District 1. I've worked in the community for a long time, worked at Family Tree as the Director of Adolescent Services and the Director of the Battered Women's Services, have participated in a number of community coalitions, including the Jeffco Public Schools District Accountability Committee, City of Arvada Human Resources Committee for 10 years, and the City of Arvada Capital Sustainability Committee. 3 things to know about me that differentiate me from my opponents. I am accessible, number 1. Number 2, I bring people together, find common ground. And number 3, I don't just talk, I get things done. I'm Tracy Kraft-Tharp. I'm running for County Commissioner in District 1.
Thank you so much. So let's get us started with our rapid fire questions. This first one is asking what the biggest challenges facing our county.
So there's a trifecta of priority issues that are facing our county right now, differs than before last March: COVID, economic recovery, and racial inequity.
Thank you. And if elected, what is your top priority?
So my top priority would be addressing those priorities. Before last March, it's important to know that we had some pretty serious issues concerning our budget and growth issues. Those issues have not gone away. So there's a lot of top priority issues that need to be dealt with here in the county.
Has too much power been transferred away from elected officials to unelected government employees, for example, the county health department? If so, how will you work to correct that? And if not, how will you work to ensure those government agencies stay connected and accountable to the people?
I think Jefferson County has done a really nice job at listening to our scientists, our facts, and our public health experts, and at the same time working in coordination in implementing those policies. We were privileged and honored to have Dr. Mark Johnson serve with us for over 30 years, and he recently retired. We will miss him, but we've got some pretty competent people in our public health department who are helping us with COVID. So I think we've found that nice balance.
How do you plan to keep Jeffco safe?
I'm not really sure what this question is referring to. Is that safe from healthcare, safe from law enforcement? I'm not really sure what this question is addressing.
So for the time being, let's answer it in regard to COVID, maybe. I'm thinking that might be where this was coming from.
So if it's around COVID and healthcare, then I think that the county has done a really nice job of putting together a plan that helps increase consumer confidence, that helps keep people safe. And that plan is around wearing masks, wash your hands, keeping 6 feet in distance, and using disinfectant. And the county has done a really nice job of passing that message on. Our county numbers with COVID are increasing, and it's time for all of us to be a little more diligent. We're getting tired of being in our house. But it's time to re-energize ourselves around that plan.
Thank you. While you're running for your own reasons, how will you also listen to varying views of residents in your district and for taxpayers?
So as I mentioned earlier, one of my strengths is my accessibility. I've served as the state representative in House District 29 for the last 8 years. I've run town meetings every month, newsletters, community coffees. I've sat at Starbucks all day long and meeting with people. One of my strengths is listening to people and really hearing what people's concerns are. And I'll continue that as our county commissioner.
In these trying times, what can elected officials do to support local businesses?
I think that the chambers have done an amazing job at coming forth and being community organizations versus just membership organizations. The county has done a great job, and our local municipalities, around providing support to support our local businesses, whether that's allocating the dollars from the feds, whether that's allocating small grants. It's doing like you do a daily video, helping people understand what can they do in these times to be able to stay open. Elected officials need to support those efforts.
What will be your biggest challenges in this role?
So the biggest challenges are some of the challenges that are facing this county. So our COVID numbers are going up. We're on the verge of going into the red zone again. How do we keep people motivated to stay safe during this time? How do we make sure that we increase consumer confidence so that people will participate with our businesses and spend their dollars so we can keep our businesses open? And heavens, how do we make sure that we're doing all of this where we have policies that are racially equitable? So important during this time.
This was a lengthier question, so I've typed up the start of it, and then I'll read to you the rest of it on here. So how would you—
a longer time to answer?
How would you address the budget with competing interests? So including the public safety, the sheriff's department, and other county services.
So we address the budget by listening to the people in the district around what are the priorities that they have, and working very closely with the elected officials that run our departments, including our sheriff and our unelected experts with mental health, with public health. We listen to them. We listen to what the priorities are in our county.
Excellent. So we'll be asking one last rapid fire. As you're listening in, if you have an additional question that you would like to ask of our candidate, please type it into the comment section of this broadcast. What, if anything, would you change with how the county has responded to COVID?
I'm not really sure how to address that question. I've been very impressed with both how the county and our municipalities have addressed the COVID issues. I think that one of the things that we do need to do is we need to look at how we're going to motivate people, as I said earlier, as we're on the verge of entering the red zone and our numbers are going up. This is exhausting, living in our homes and continuing to be super diligent, but we must. This is a pandemic. This pandemic is going to last for a while yet, and we need to make sure that we stay on course.
Thank you. So it looks like we have a couple of other folks. I see Councillor DeMont has hopped on here as well with us. And of course, Wayne Anderson. Good morning to everyone that's tuned into the broadcast. We are coming close to our closing time. And with that, if I can have our candidate share the final closing remarks as to why folks should consider her candidacy further.
Thank you. So Sandy, who lives here in Jefferson County, sent me this text just the other day. That Tracy is a wonderful person, cares deeply for all people, and will listen to all. She's a unifier and works well with all people on all sides. She has the ability to bring people together and get things done. I think Sandy has described it perfectly. I have experience and knowledge in this county. I know this county, and I have the experience and expertise to be able to address the issues that we have. I'm a listener. I'm accessible. I get things done. And more important, that I bring people together and find common ground.
Thank you so very much for spending some time with us this morning. Of course, to everyone that's tuned in, I appreciate you staying informed and in the know. Please be sure to hit the share button so your networks can be just as informed as to who the candidates are and why they should vote for whoever they would choose to vote for. Of course, we are ending this broadcast, but we're coming back to you with another candidate. Thank you so very much, Tracy. And of course, Alberto, stick with me.
Thank you, Wesley.